Romain Grosjean has had a pretty good career. He has also had, in my opinion, the most unorthodox junior career of anyone I have ever looked into. He has 10 podiums but never made it to the top step. Romain was a veteran with 9 full seasons in F1 and several relatively successful seasons in IndyCar. Before this video continues, if you have not liked and subscribed, please consider doing that if you want to see more content from me. Thank you! Romain's career started later than most in 2000 at the age of 14. After a kart track opened less than an hour away in the neighboring country of he started recreational karting. At that time, he could not race in his home country of Switzerland due to a ban on motorsports entirely. In 2001, just 1 year after he started karting, he took the championship in the ICA French Championship, which was a very high level of karting. Across 2002 and 2003, Romain participated in multiple karting series, with the most notable being the 2002 Monaco Kart Cup, where he placed 16th. In 2003, he made his debut in single-seaters in the Formula Lista 1.6 series. Romain ended up winning it all, literally. He won 10 out of 10 races in his first season. In 2004, Romain made his debut in the French Formula Renault series, where he placed 7th overall, getting 4 podiums and a win at Dijon. The next year, Romain took the title in the French Formula Renault series, getting 10 wins and 13 podiums across 16 races. In 2006, things were just okay for Romain. He made his debut in the Formula 3 Euro Championship, where he finished in 13th overall with 19 points. Romain's best finish was at race 1 at Oschersleben, where he got a podium. In 2007, he was on top. Romain took 6 wins, 12 podiums, and the title in the Formula 3 Euro Series. In 2008, he makes his debut in GP2 for ART Grand Prix. Romain was sharing the grid with some of the greatest drivers of all time, including Pastor Maldonado, Bruno Senna, Karun Chandhok, and best of all, Sakan Yamamoto. Despite being in such a tough field of drivers, Romain managed to get 4th overall with 2 wins at Turkey and Spa, and 6 podiums across the 20 races. In 2009, Romain raced in GP2 again, getting 2 wins early on at Catalunya and Monaco. Things were normal until the Valencia Grand Prix, when Formula 1 driver Nelson Piquet Jr. got dropped and then blew the whistle on Crashgate. Man, I still need to make a video about that. Because of Nelson Piquet Jr. getting kicked, Romain made his F1 debut for Renault at the European Grand Prix, where he finished 15th after qualifying 14th. The next race at Belgium, Romain qualified 19th. On lap 1, Romain tapped the back of the Brawn of Jenson Button, sending Button and Grosjean into a spin. The Toro Rosso of Alguersuari and McLaren of Hamilton were caught up in it, and they all went into the wall at Les Combes. The rest of the 2009 season did not go well for Romain. He was pointless, and his best finish was 13th and didn't get another seat for 2010. In 2010, Romain only did 8 GP2 races, getting 2 podiums at Spa and Abu Dhabi. Romain also ran in the 24 Hours of Le Mans, where he qualified 3rd in the LMGT1 class and didn't finish. For 2011, things were much better. Romain raced in the GP2 series, where he dominated. He got 5 wins, 10 podiums, and 6 fast laps. Romain ended up getting 89 points, and the runner-up only got 54, meaning he won by 35 points. The same year, Romain signed to be a test driver, where he got 2 FP1 sessions. 2012 rolls around and Romain Grosjean makes his second F1 debut for Lotus after a 2-year gap. At the Australian Grand Prix, he qualified 3rd, 4/10 off of pole. At the start of the race, Romain quickly fell to 6th. On the second lap, the absolute GOAT Pastor Maldonado pushed Romain off track, and then they collided, causing Romain's front right reel to come off. At the next round in Malaysia, Romain qualified 7th, but because of his teammate Kimi Räikkönen getting a 5-place grid penalty, Romain started 6th. On lap 1, Romain spun and hit Michael Schumacher and fell back. 3 laps later, on lap 4, Romain beached his car in DNF. The next round in China, he got his first points with a P6 finish after qualifying 10th. At the next weekend in Bahrain, he claimed his maiden podium. Romain qualified 7th and had an absolutely fantastic start and got up to 4th. On his second stint on lap 40, he led the race before pulling into the pits. The race ended up with a Lotus 2-3 with Räikkönen in 2nd and Grosjean in 3rd. Romain claimed his best finish of 2nd a few races later in Canada after qualifying 7th. He went for a very risky one-stop strategy and overcut most of the field. At the European Grand Prix in Valencia, Romain led the race briefly, but his car lost power and didn't finish the race that many people predicted him to win. Romain got 1 more podium at Hungary and scored several more points. For the Italian Grand Prix, he got a 1-race ban due to a pile-up at the previous race in Belgium. Romain cut across the front of Lewis Hamilton at lap 1, causing Alonso, Hamilton, and Grosjean to retire. In total, for the 2012 season, Romain got 3 podiums in his only fast lap of his career. He ended up finishing 8th overall with 96 points. For 2012, Romain was very reckless with 8 DNFs, and 7 of those being because of spins and crashes. In 2013, he was still with Lotus. He was much more consistent, getting points and a podium at Bahrain in the first 4 races. For the Monaco Grand Prix, he crashed 4 times in one weekend, with the worst being into the back of Ricciardo, giving him a 10-place grid penalty at Canada, which put him in the back of the field, and he finished 13th. At Korea, Japan, and India, Romain got 3 podiums in a row. At the penultimate round at Coda, Romain tied for his best finish of P2. Romain qualified 3rd, 8/10 off pole. On start, he claimed a position and went up to 2nd. On the first lap, Adrian Sutil went into the barriers, bringing out the safety car. On lap 4, the race restarted and Grosjean held off Hamilton and Webber. Romain ended up holding the position to the checkered flag. Romain Grosjean finished the 2013 season in 7th overall with 132 points and 6 podiums. When it came to DNFs, he was a lot better with only 5 DNFs instead of 8. 2013 was by far his best season. In 2014, he was still with Lotus, and things were not good. So Kimi Räikkönen was no longer his teammate. Romain was stuck with the absolute GOAT, Pastor Maldonado. I think it's pretty hard to come up with any worse of a driver lineup. Romain had 2 DNFs and was pointless in the first 4 rounds. The only points Romain scored were at Spain and Monaco with a double P8 finish. Romain was 14th in the standings with 8 points, 6 points ahead of his teammate. He also had 7 DNFs. 2015 and Grosjean is still with Lotus, and Maldonado is still his teammate. That season, Romain was very consistent in the points. At the Belgium Grand Prix, Romain got his final podium. He qualified 4th but had a horrible start where he lost 4 positions. Romain managed to fight his way back up to 4th, where he held until lap 42. Vettel, who was in 3rd, had a puncture and Romain took 3rd. That podium was huge for Lotus. In total, Romain finished 11th overall with 51 points. For 2016, it was announced he would be driving for the new American team Haas. At Australia, things looked good with him finishing 6th. His best finish was 5th at the following race in Bahrain. In the first 4 races, he got 22 points. In total, he got 29 points and finished 13th. His 2017 season was very similar, with him getting 28 points and finishing 13th overall driving for Haas. In 2019, things were horrible. Romain was very crash happy. He got 7 DNFs. Romain qualified well multiple times but kept crashing. Romain's best finish was 7th at Hockenheimring after 4 safety cars and 6 cars failed to finish. Romain only scored 8 points and finished 18th overall. In 2020, he was doing about as bad, but he was finishing more races. The Haas that year was not good. His best quality was 12th. He scored only 2 points with a 9th position finish at the German Grand Prix after 5 people didn't finish. At the Bahrain Grand Prix, Romain crashed. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because there's already a million videos out there already talking about this incident. Following his incident, he got a return to racing in IndyCar with Dale Coyne Racing. For 2021, he was fairly decent. He got 1 pole position and 3 podiums, with his best finish being 2nd. Romain was in the midfield, being 15th overall. In 2022, Romain switched teams to Andretti Autosport. He only got 1 podium with a P2 finish at Long Beach. 2022 was also the first year he raced in the Indy 500, where he finished 31st. Romain finished 13th overall. For 2023, he stayed with Andretti. Romain got 2 poles and 2 P2 finishes. He participated in the Indy 500, where he only finished 30th. Overall, he was 13th again. In 2024, he switched teams to Juncos Hollinger Racing and didn't do very well. He finished 19th at the Indy 500 and didn't get any podiums. Romain finished 17th overall. He also ran in the 24 Hours of Le Mans for Lamborghini, where he finished 13th in the hypercar class. In 2025, he did a few races for IMSA for Lamborghini in the GTP class. He was also a reserve driver for Prema Racing. He did not have any major success in IMSA. As of time of recording this, it is June of 2026, and Romain is doing okay in IndyCar. He is back with Dale Coyne Racing. At the Indy 500, he finished 9th and got the award for being the biggest mover. He also led a few laps. 2026 is looking far more promising than any of his other years in IndyCar. I hope y'all liked this video. If you did, press the like button. If you didn't, press the dislike button twice.